At this time, I would like to turn today's program over to Darren Cunningham. Darren, you may begin.
Hello, thank you everybody for joining us today. If you're like me, you're still recovering from Dreamforce 2012. And what we wanted to do, we know for many of you who did attend, it was a very busy time, and there was a lot you tried to get into to the week. And also, for you who didn't get a chance to come out to San Francisco, we want to share with you some of the highlights around cloud integration and master data management. So I've a really great group together here. Mark Murray is going to dive into SAP integration, which is a very hot topic at Dreamforce and continues to be very important to Salesforce customers, increasingly actually, what we've seen in Informatica. And Al Sakari is going to take us through really something that was extremely popular and of interest at the Informatica booth, which is Informatica Cloud Master Data Management. So both Dina and Mark will be spending most of the time really walking through some product capabilities. But before that, I thought I would just share with you some of the highlights that I saw. I've been spending some time in the Chatter org. I wanted to share some resources with you if you're also trying to dig in and find what's out there to make the most of your Dreamforce experience. So first of all, Dreamforce, as always, they set huge expectations and they managed to meet and exceed them. Mark Benioff was in fine form. Tony Robbins rocked the room. They had, very high-level people within organizations telling their story about how they're really pushing forward with cloud computing, the social enterprise. And then, of course, there was a fantastic Red Hot Chili Peppers concert on the Wednesday night. So just a great event, lots of energy. The cloud is here, the cloud is real, and Salesforce just deserves a lot of credit for continuing to push this message and really evangelize this huge shift that we're seeing in the world of software. The other thing that I thought was very interesting was that data management was recognized as really a top priority for Salesforce customers. I attended the partner event on Monday, which was fantastic. They had over 3,000 partners from their channel there to hear about what's going on in the ecosystem. So a real testament to Salesforce is built around Salesforce and the Exchange and Force.com. Look at this chart. I thought this was very interesting, very telling. The top requested back office applications are really big data management, everything to do with integration, data quality, dealing with how do you connect the back office to the front office, a top priority for Salesforce customers. That I thought was also telling that Salesforce used in the keynote as well as in the partner keynote, which is it's not just about being social, it's about being connected. So, of course, Informatica, we love that story. We love the idea of needing to connect Salesforce to everything in your organization, everything to do with preventing and eliminating silos. SaaS silos and SaaS sprawls is a theme that we talked about, and it's great to see Salesforce really put that message of you need to connect it, you need to make sure you're getting that maximum value out of the investment. Just before I pass it over to Mark, a couple of things I wanted to also highlight from an Informatica perspective at Dreamforce. First of all, it was crazy in the expo. Just a ton of interest, a ton of energy, and our team really appreciated all the conversations we had with our customers, our partners, prospective customers. Just some good discussions, diving into all elements of data integration, of master data management, really digging into aspects of data quality. Just a great experience all around, and I do want to highlight this link at the bottom. We have posted a few of the pictures that we took in and around the booth and the event on our Facebook page. So I mentioned earlier, if you are trying to dig through, Slider, dig through the Chatter org, really try to find out what else is out there. So I spent a time in the Dreamforce Chatter org, and I went and found some sessions that I think are interesting, that this audience might also find to be useful. And what I did was I followed them in Chatter so that I could actually hear updates and interact with people who might have attended. Salesforce is now posting all the videos and PowerPoint slides. So just a few examples and just to highlight the kinds of topics that we're seeing at Dreamforce. Right? I've been at Dreamforce since 2006, and back then it was very focused on sales and marketing and the kinds of things that Salesforce administrators needed. There's a lot of that, but really there was a conference in the conference around Force.com and the whole developer aspect of Dreamforce. And increasingly, we're seeing the architects, we're seeing really, people thinking through their broader cloud strategy, and I think some of these sessions might be useful to you on those topics. I also want to highlight a session that we hosted that featured 3 Informatica customers, Logitech, Oppenheimer Funds, and Interstate Batteries. These presenters did a great job of sharing their experiences, walking through their journey from integration up through to cloud capabilities and master data management. And that presentation is also available on SlideShare, and we've posted it on our blog and other places. So a great session. My highlight quote was actually from Interstate Batteries, which was, "Man with 1 watch knows what time it is, and with 2 watches is never quite sure." And they shared the story how they actually had 3, and how master data management was really the key to delivering that single version of account information in real time across these multiple systems. Very interesting story about a large rollout of Salesforce in conjunction with a master data management strategy. Very successful implementing over Interstate Batteries. So also quickly wanted to highlight something that now has become an annual event for us. On the day before Dreamforce, we hosted our annual party. We hosted the Informatica Cloud Connect conference for our customers and partners to dive into our roadmap and hear where we're going around cloud integration and cloud master data management. And we all celebrated what we call our Cloudy Award winners. I took a moment to acknowledge some of the things that our customers are doing to be as pioneers to push the envelope around cloud integration, cloud data quality, and cloud master data management. So just wanted to share with you some of the logos of companies that we recognize at our Cloudy Awards, and you can see the URL there if you'd like more information on what each category is all about. I want to recognize we did have a Tweet to Win competition where we were encouraging people to tweet their single view of Dreamforce, and I want to acknowledge Mark Speaker, who had the most retweets. We'll be following up with him on the 3D TV front. So it was pretty cool to see people sharing their experiences and using that single view theme, which of course is a key benefit of Informatica Cloud. So now dive into some specific details around these themes and these 2 capabilities that we've been increasingly talking to customers about, talking to our partners about, and working with you all on. The first around SAP, and the second is cloud master data management. Mark and I did a partner theater demonstration, and Mark dove into the use cases around why organizations are increasingly wanting to integrate with not just SAP, back office ERP systems, but in this case we'll focus on SAP. And one of the use cases you can see here are customer master data integration, synchronizing product information between systems, orders, opportunity to orders. I'm going to share with you in a demonstration what that looks like. So with that, I'm going to hand over to you, Mark. There's a picture of you in action at the booth to kind of take us through what this looks like from an Informatica Cloud perspective.
And you give me presenter rights.
I'll do that now. I know you've had a rough week on the expo floor and in multiple meetings, so hopefully your voice will hold up for this demonstration.
That's a terrible picture of me, folks, so I'm a little disappointed. I should have posed a little bit better. But today, I'm going to show you some integration between SAP and Salesforce bidirectionally and a few other cool things that Informatica has released over the last few releases. So we'll start off in Salesforce, where most of us live our typical days. And my home screen, you can see what's really happening here. But if I click over to my accounts, I'm going to take what's available. It's out there. So I'll get that data over. So in the background, I actually have an Informatica Cloud task running that's looking and waiting for real-time information from SAP. So let's go to SAP real quick and send a customer over. And you'll see I have a couple of SAP screens, and we'll get a quick look. So this is customer first. So the folks that know SAP are familiar with these screens. The folks that don't, the SAP screens, right? Not as friendly as the Salesforce screens, as you can see. I want to take a look at the customer I want to pop over. and the H. So people are working on him on the ERP system, whether it's Oracle, whether it's SAP, whatever it might be. But in the background, Informatica is going to look for that change or look for that new record and pull it in. So let's go send him over. So I'm just going to click run. Now, neither's doing right. And typically shouldn't care because that's the whole point of the integration, right? It's the plumbing under the floor. You only care about it, right? It doesn't work. So let's back to Salesforce and refresh my screen. And boom. So let's go take a look at our Sudic account. And what I want to do is kind of follow a story. Like I'm out in the field and I want to go to my customer and they want to place an order. So to create an opportunity. So again, using the power of Salesforce, we'll create a new opportunity and we'll call it a DF. If I can spell. A couple of default options. They're rating referral, and they want a close date of tomorrow because we're super salespeople, and we're in value proposition. I want to get a couple of products added to the mix. Right, and these also, so we're going to grab a couple of them. And again, our Salesforce, how easy is it to work with? And we'll give them, I'll give them one of the 64s, and we'll give them 15 of the high ends. Right, we want to redate again for tomorrow. Right, this is a rush order. Now, the salesman that I am, I'm going to close the deal. So we're going to have our opportunity. Close one. But before I save it, I'm going to illustrate what's happening. I'm going to click sync with the back end and then save this. Nothing like that, but I'm forcing it to happen so you can see the process. So what now is it just kicked off an Informatica Cloud task via our REST API. So it's easy to call Informatica tasks from outside the application itself. So now, as this stuff happen, we'll just a quick look first. I'm just refresh to see if our order number comes back. In a couple of seconds, we'll see our order come back. But if I to integration tab, now I'm going to put my integration hat on. Let's see what happened. And I'm going to log into Informatica Cloud. And I'm going to go to Activity Monitor, look at the detailed view. And you can actually have tasks running in parallel, right, at the exact time. And we'll give that. Our create accounts has grabbed a couple of rows. Our opportunity to order is running. So let's play real world again. Let's send some more customers over. I'm sorry, we'll go to a customer screen. We'll take from, say, 2000 to 2005. And we'll send. All right, so it's happening all during the day. To Salesforce, take a quick look at our accounts came through. Right, let's go back to our opportunity. Let's see if our opportunity completed. And let's do a quick read. Our opportunity didn't come through yet. But waiting here, if I go back to my account, I could do a few other things. Maybe this precious data that I need, I can actually go out and validate my billing information using an Informatica Cloud process. So verify billing information. Now pick the address didn't have all the right information in it, right? It didn't have the province and province code. I can actually select the one that best fits my needs and update in place. So here's a cool Informatica Cloud option while I'm working in my environment. And our opportunity came back with the order. And there we go. So it populated the order. So think about what happened. I synced CRM information, right? I created opportunity and literally took all that information out of SAP, out of Salesforce, logged into SAP, and actually brought the opportunity back. I'm sorry, but the opportunity back with the order number. So if I get that number and I go to display sales order, right? Now I'm involved again. And if right, opportunity name, which is really now the PO number, their orders, or the objects that we ordered, all the price information, but double synced, right? I synced to out of to SAP and then back in to Salesforce, all in one process. So Informatica is all that plumbing, but you saw that little sexy thing also about what we can do with some of our other technology about validating information, right? Data quality live. And I'll show another real neat thing.
I think your one other neat thing might be my question. The concept of social ERP, of how you can actually make your back office applications more social. That what you're going to kind of talk about next is kind of how you can tie this into Chatter?
Exactly. So another cool thing about Informatica Cloud is that releases come out every 3 to 4 months. So what do I mean? That means that you're always on the most upgraded version of Informatica Cloud, but also means you get all the features and functions. And one cool thing we added was a chat connector. Jump back to my web browser. I'm going to go to Informatica Cloud. And I actually have a process that can run on schedule. It's a group of things that are going to happen. And what I'm going to do is find my what's called a task flow. I'm just going to fire this off real quick. To click on it. I have a little process that's going to go out and look for changes in my SAP instance. Right? Normally it'll run on a schedule, right? Or it could be kicked off, triggered from someplace else. Your screen. So what's happening now is I have a set of processes, but it's interesting. The one is the IDs I want to chat to. The second is finding out what the changes are from SAP. The next 4 are literally chatting to different objects in Salesforce. So the score A says, hey, chat to the account, this change. The C says, chat to this contact. The G says, hey, chat to this group. And O says, hey, chat to this other complete different Salesforce org. Right, so I can completely chat anywhere I want to. And I'll just click into my account chat. It's a step wizard. Right? It's beautiful. I'm going to source my table, my chat object, and this is really cool. I'll jump to the, oops. I actually have to get into that. I had to pick up there. Let me go back to my home tab. Excuse me for a sec, guys. Error, so we already know that there was an error. I want to grab this guy. I'm going to edit it. I'm going to show you the mapping. The connectors write feeds, and I just say, hey, take where you want it to go and where it needs to go. And I loaded data from a object, and I looked up my parent where I map it to. It's simple, super simple. I don't need to be an Apex or a Java coder. I have connections to Salesforce, right? And I'm on the account still, right? So I'm on the opportunity to the account. What you're going to see if I show Chatter, any kind of on the account to the account, right? If I look at the contact I picked, if I chat to that contact, I'm going to have chatted to that contact. Go to home, to a group. I just chatted. I created the new order, right? But I chatted the changes. So wherever I want to chat changes to, I can do that easily through a connector. Right? One Darren mentioned before from PA Financials, they actually chat from Salesforce object to Salesforce object, having to build any code. Literally, outbound message to another Chatter object using the Chatter connector. So the flexibility is pretty on any other application that's out there today.
You're making your back office social. So that Chatter connector, that's available on the marketplace. Someone could go and get that. How does that work?
Oh, even better than that. From an Informatica Cloud perspective, if you're like a cloud org and you go to your administration tab, let me log back in there, guys. If I go to my admin tab and you see you'll actually see all the connectors that are available. And if it's available today, I have these all installed. If I didn't have it installed, you'd actually have a button right here that says "Get Me," and a connector within, right? And in cases, you can go to the cloud community and download connectors too. But in most cases, it's that easy. Click on a button, and you connector.
I'll scroll down, Mark, and look at a couple of others. You got Eloquent, you got NetSuite, a few that our partner Silverline has developed, Workday, Websys. Wow, that's great.
I'll get back to you at this point. If there are questions, we'll take them towards the end.
Yep. Thank you, Mark, for taking us through that. Looks like a few questions are coming in, and we'll get to those in a second. I do want to keep moving because that's the front half of our presentation, which is the SAP conversation, how to integrate Salesforce and SAP. Actually, before we hand it back over to Dina, just ask, where was the billing verification coming from? Was it coming from SAP? How does that sort of work between systems?
Well, as I bring the information, when I synced over the CRM and type information, the customer and the account, I need to bring over everything to make the integration work. So if I have that information in SAP and bring it over to Salesforce, it's a natural marriage back. Right, so the process. And if I don't have it, I need to create it. So part of my integration back out, integration logic, I might need to create some of that information I need in the integration task itself and write it back in. So we're flexible enough to handle it in multiple different ways.
Awesome. It looks like there could be some good follow-up discussions there as well. So we'll also chat some of the questions here in the WebEx panel. So let's switch gears. Thanks, Mark. Go grab a drink of water. Your voice held up. A nice job. Let's switch gears and talk about an increasingly popular topic, which is master data management for Salesforce. So some of you who were kind of gearing up for Dreamforce and attending the show might have noticed that the week before Dreamforce, Informatica made an announcement, introduced Cloud Master Data Management. We actually had been partnering with a company out of the UK called Data Scout, and we acquired the company, and we're really excited now to have this as part of the Informatica portfolio. And what's so amazing about Data Scout, which is now called Informatica Cloud MDM, is that it's natively on the Force.com platform. So the technology, like what you saw in Mark's demo, will really keep you in Salesforce. I mean, Informatica Cloud integration has single sign-on and the ability to really be mixed up with Salesforce, but it is a native app. That's because it's really doing a lot of the integration with other systems through a secure agent and other capabilities. But what about the new Informatica Cloud Master Data Management technology that we had been partnering and really integrating with the Data Scout product prior to the acquisition. So for this connectivity, as you start to think about MDM for Salesforce, we have some of these hooks into other systems, being able to bring data into the Informatica Cloud MDM solution. So some recognition, 100% cloud powered by Informatica Cloud integration. And that's interesting from a technology perspective, but we found really most relevant and interesting at Dreamforce was the conversation about the problems we can solve. So whether it's for sales or for marketing or customer service and support people who are really trying to dig in and get more out of their Salesforce investment, we've been really great conversations with you all about, from a marketing perspective, how do we, for example, connect our leads to our existing accounts? Get the most out of our external data sources, all these other marketing cloud apps that are out there. What about advanced campaign data management? So Dina will take us through that element of Informatica Cloud Master Data Management, really focusing on what many of you like me are trying to still work through. How do now you've invested in Dreamforce, make sure you get the ROI from that campaign, from that event. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to you, Dina, to really walk us through, as you did sometimes at the booth, walk us through Informatica Cloud MDM.
Hi very much, Darren. Yeah, so following from the fact that this is a webinar all about follow-up on Dreamforce, what I'm going to take you through today is how you would manage that data once you've got that list of people who've attended your event. How you then manage that data to ensure that you've got a clean report, you've got clean data to then follow up and get some ROI from your event attendees. So just to show my screen now. You'll see my screen. Right. First thing I'm going to show you here is your typical dashboard.
I just want to make sure you're sharing, Dina. I'm still seeing the main screen.
Okay, let's have a look at this.
There we go.
Sorry about that, guys. So I promise I'm better with MDM than I am with sharing my screen. So some of the things that you might be doing after an event is trying to find the ROI of that event. So you've invested quite a bit in the travel and the trip. You've got this list of attendees, but you want to start to kind of think about how much did you spend versus how much you're influencing existing opportunities and how many opportunities are actually sourced by this specific campaign. So you might have seen our webinar before. This is a Salesforce org for an organization that are selling to fast food restaurants, and they've just attended an event, the International Fast Food Fair. Now, I know we weren't very original when we were naming this event. However, one of the things that this marketing director wants to see in his dashboard is he wants to see who has attended this event, what is the ROI for our fast food event, what opportunities have actually influenced it, are the leads that we've been creating being followed up, and what are the new attendees and what are the opportunities that were sourced by this campaign. Now, what tends to happen in reality is, because you're importing this list as leads, firstly, all those leads are going to be considered as new prospects, but we know that you can have prospects as well as existing customers or existing organizations that you're already working with or have in-flight opportunities with that attend this event as well. So what we really want to see is leads and contacts in that list. However, right now, because we don't have Cloud MDM or we don't have a right integration with this org, we don't have that visibility. Another thing is you want to make sure that data, you're setting the foundation for cleaning that data for the right segmentation. Now, we've got invalid countries here. We've got Deutschland instead of Germany. We've got US and USA. So the first thing we're going to do is set the foundation and clean up that data, clean up and standardize all those fields. So we'll take you through the Cloud MDM demo tab, and yes, it's still called Data Scout. We'll rebrand that soon enough. But the first step is standardizing all that data. So standardizing all the sales data, so all your opportunities, all your contacts, all your accounts in there, as well as all the leads that you've got in there. You also would imagine that when you're scanning people at a stand, now I'm sure you've all experienced it, you're going to be scanned several times by several people. So as a result, you're going to be a duplicate in a Salesforce org. You want to cleanse and identify all those duplicates. What I'm going to do is take you back to the dashboard after we've done all that cleansing and refresh that dashboard. And then what you'll see is now we've got a clearer segmentation of the various countries or the various organizations that attended our event. But now if we click into that, we can start to then manage all these duplicates and start to plan how we're gonna strategize on the duplicates in the org. Now, one other aspect of it, now within the list itself, you're going to have duplicates because you've had multiple scans. But what about the people that are already in your org as leads and have attended the event at the same time? I'm going to click into one of those records. Now what you see here, actually, although in the list this didn't appear as a duplicate, but when I actually go into the record, you'll see that this person was already in my Salesforce org as a duplicate. And when I imported my list, I created another version of that person. Immediately, I'm notified that this is a duplicate, and I can start to manage that. Now, Cloud MDM solution gives you the flexibility to manage this manually. So take it to the next screen. You can pick and choose what aspects of the record you want to keep and what aspects you want to get rid of. But one thing to note here is manual merging or auto merging with the Cloud MDM solution is a no loss merge. That means it doesn't matter how many times you've accidentally merged the record, you can always undo it. Now, the engine that's running in the background here is the fuzzy matching engine, and we call this probabilistic fuzzy matching. And this is how we can indicate whether something is actually a duplicate or not. So I'm going to take you through the tab that an administrator can view to actually see why something's been classified as a duplicate. And we've got two records here. We've got Sophia. On first glance, these look like completely different people, and they wouldn't be classified as duplicates of each other. But when we actually hit the compare button, actually drill down into every field within that record, we can see that, in fact, this is actually a duplicate record. So all the other details about this person are exactly the same. They work for the same company, they have the same phone number, they're even based in the same location. So we realize now that actually, in fact, this is a duplicate. And because of the probabilistic fuzzy matching that we're able to derive that result. And it's because we're able to match each field, give it a weighted score, and then add up all these totals together to give you a total score. And if it's above a specific threshold that you can set based on how good or bad your data is, then it's classified as a duplicate. And why I showed you that is because what I'm going to do now can be quite scary. I'm going to mass merge all the duplicates in my Salesforce org. So I'm going to go back to my tab and just merge all my accounts and merge all my leads. And what it does is it just creates that clean org to start off with so that any work I do from now on is all going to be clean. I've merged all my accounts. I've merged all my leads. And what I'm also going to do is take you through what about in an ideal world where you had the Cloud MDM solution already in your org before the event even took place. So what if you did that list import and didn't even create those duplicates in the first place? Now, one of the main issues with importing lists from after event is that, as I said, you're going to be importing duplicates. There's no way of matching them against existing records. There's no way to tell if all these leads that I've got in my list are actually people that I've already got opportunities with. So that means that you're only going to get leads. So what we want to do now is do an import, take it through the Cloud MDM process before it actually commits to creating a record, and then that means that all these campaigns that you're importing are going to be associated with existing contacts. And if you've got an existing contact, I've got an existing lead, you're not going to be creating a duplicate. So that's what we're going to run now. So we're just going to run an event list process. And what that means, what's running in the background here is I'm just getting rid of all the leads that I've got in that campaign, and I'm re-importing that list again. But this time, I'm matching it against all the contacts and all the leads that are already in my Salesforce org. Now if I go back to my dashboard, and that's my dashboard, if the speed allows me to, in the dashboard, you see that now, after this allowed me to refresh it, now what you'll see is I've got a combination of contacts and leads in my list. And what that means, if I click into that, what that means is now all the contacts that had opportunities associated with them are now acting as an influence to my existing opportunities. So what you can now see is now I've got opportunity influence and I've got opportunity sourced because it's imported that list. Now, how that affects my ROI is that I now have a correct view of the ROI. Now I can have that total value associated with all my attendees. And on top of that, I now have a clearer picture of who was net new attending the event versus who were existing contacts. Now, in this scenario, most of them were existing contacts, but what that means is now I've got a lot of ROI based on opportunities influenced. I'm going to hand over back to you, Darren.
Great, thank you, Dina. You can see why there was so much interest in what you're showing there, because like me, you're going to a big event like that and want to come back and really make the most out of it. So just some great, fantastic new abilities. You can go to informaticacloud.com/MDM to get more information, and we'd love to follow up and dive into how that might meet some of your specific requirements. So with that, I want to just kind of wrap it up on the Informatica Cloud side. It's getting close to the last day of the month, and I know a lot of you are busy from having attended Dreamforce and catching up, or really trying to dig into some of the other content that was announced last week. So from Informatica Cloud perspective, we've broadened our portfolio. We have cloud integration applications. We've introduced the new Cloud MDM solution. We have our marketplace, which I would encourage you to go and have a look at. We actually have two new categories on the Informatica marketplace, all these malls, and we have an Informatica Cloud Mall for connectors and Informatica Cloud Mall for templates. So both of those two things, the templates and the connectors, are key pillars of what we call our integration platform as a service. So if you're interested in developing, if you're interested in building custom solutions, and really going deeper with our platform, find a new developer community also out on the Informatica Cloud community site. All those links are available from informaticacloud.com. Really, just to conclude, our goal and what we're really trying to set out to do at Informatica is help unlock the value of the cloud. We're delivering that through cloud-based solutions. We're delivering hybrid capability, making sure what we deliver in the cloud works well with what we have on premise, so you can extend footprint, you can extend investment in Informatica. And increasingly, we're working with our larger customers, for example, to really broaden out what we're doing with PowerCenter by delivering self-service out to the business with cloud-based integration capabilities. Mark Murray, for example, has been working very closely with some of our largest customers to really help them understand how they can take advantage of Informatica Cloud to extend their existing investment in the Informatica platform. So there's been some good questions. We've been trying to get to them through the Q&A. You can follow up with us directly through email. We'll share the slides and presentation, and you go to informaticacloud.com/dreamforce to set up a follow-up meeting with us and follow up on this information yourselves. So everybody for attending, and we look forward to speaking with you, and let's stay connected.
Thank you again. This concludes today's web conference. You may now disconnect.